It is time to breathe again on this latest breath of fresh air, Shorty. I'm Charles, your host for today, and I am back as promised to give my picks for who I think will make it to the Final Four in this year's edition of March Madness, and who I ultimately think will win it all. As for a bonus, I also have Patrick Brackett's picks as well. I was able to talk to him yesterday, and he said that his family vacation went well, and he is looking forward to being back come Tuesday night. He said he missed being on the camera, and those of y'all who know Patrick and have seen Patrick on the webcast, y'all know he's not definitely not shy in front of the camera. So he said he missed being on camera. He's looking forward to being back, and I am happy to have him back with me as well after the 2 weeks he had off from the show. So uh, it's good to have him back. And without further ado, let's get to the picks that both of us have for the Final Four and who we think will win it all. So I will start with Patrick's picks to get everything on paper, on record. And before I begin, it's just good to do a bracket. I had a lot of fun picking out my bracket on Thursday, and yeah, it was tough. It was definitely wrestling with a lot of the games, and I know that's the case in most years, but this year it's really crazy because you don't know who's going to be healthy, who's going to stay healthy, who's going to get hot, who's not going to get hot, who's going to get upset. It's just a lot that goes into making these picks, but that's the beauty of the madness. It's a one and done tournament, so you have to be on every day or you could go home. So it'll be really, really fun to watch this, especially after not having the madness last year due to COVID. It's just good to just number one have everybody safe and ready to play. Uh, this was a tough year, very weird year, but through it all, we're here as fans and especially to the coaching players and the people who were in charge of organizing the events and the games. They did a good job just dealing with what they had to deal with. So kudos to them for that. And let's get ready to enjoy the madness, which starts at around noon Eastern, 11 Central. I think the first game is around 12:15. Yeah, 12:15 Eastern, 11:15 Central, and I think that's Virginia Tech and Florida who will get that tipped off. So let's get into these picks. I'll start with Patrick's, and his final four is Gonzaga out of the West, Baylor out of the South. I think he has West Virginia coming out of the Midwest and Alabama coming out of the East side. So that's two number ones, Gonzaga and Baylor, the two number one seeds. West Virginia is the third seed coming out of the Midwest, and Alabama is the two seed coming out of the East side. Now, the another thing about this tournament, it's exclusively being played in the state of Indiana. So yes, I know the regions are still the same in terms of how they have it set up, but keep in mind the whole tournament will be in the state of Indiana, kind of like a quasi bubble. So that's Patrick's final four: Gonzaga, Baylor, West Virginia, and Alabama. I have Gonzaga also coming out of the West, but we differ on the other three. So out of the South, I have. Who did I have coming out of the South? Man, that is crazy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I had Ohio State actually coming out of the South region, and out of the Midwest, I have Illinois, and out of the East, I have Texas. It could be a homer pick. I don't know. But I really like how Texas was looking in the Big 12 tournament, and I think they have the capability to make a deep, deep run this year. if they play smart, no pun intended for the coach, Shaka smart, but if they play to their strengths, if they play through the inside and play that tough defense that they've been playing, I like Texas's chances coming out of there. So again, my final four is Gonzaga, Ohio State, Illinois, and Texas. So let's see. Gonzaga in Patrick's bracket would play Alabama. He has Gonzaga advancing there. And then the other game is Baylor and West Virginia. And he has Baylor advancing there. So he has Gonzaga and Baylor as the final game. And I have Gonzaga actually beating Texas in mine. And I have Ohio State beating Illinois in the other game. So he has Gonzaga and Baylor, and I have Gonzaga and Ohio State. And for the final game, for the winner, we both have Gonzaga winning it all. So that's what we have there. Gonzaga will win the championship. I can't necessarily speak for Patrick as to why he picked Gonzaga, but I know for me, I just feel like Gonzaga is the best team out there. They've been the best team all year. I know, I understand they're playing in the West Coast Conference. It's not exactly the competition you're used to seeing or other teams are used to seeing in some of the other stronger conferences, such as the Big 12 and the Big 10. Uh, I think it's kind of funny so when you look at Patrick's and my picks. I have two Big 10 teams, and yeah, yep. I have two Big Ten teams out of there, and he has two Big 12 teams. So it kind of speaks to how we feel about those two conferences in terms of the depth. And we do feel like the Big Ten and the Big 12, they were the best conferences all year. And they seemed like they were the toughest ones and had the most depth. Not saying the other conferences weren't that good, but it looked like the Big 12 and the Big 10 were the ones that really stood out this year. So, we both have some strong representation of those two conferences. But yeah, Gonzaga has been the best team all year, and like I was saying, they play in the West Coast Conference. Not the best competition out there compared to those other conferences, but yeah, if you've seen Gonzaga play, they are loaded. They have a lot of depth, skill, inside, outside players, and this might be the year where they finally break through and win this thing. If they don't do it this year, I don't know when they'll do it. But I mean, at the same time, this would be a year where they wouldn't do it because everything is so crazy. So it'll be interesting to see. But to top it off, Patrick and I, even though we differ on how we got to this point, we both see Gonzaga winning the whole thing. So that's what I am breathing on for today. Y'all make sure y'all get to the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and keep the lights coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. So to all, everybody, have a great weekend and enjoy the madness. Take care.